So David, we are entering a complicated sugya of the relationship between trusting Hashem, which is called bitachon, and hishtadlut. How much of our effort is required? And we've given yesterday an example of drawing water. And we had a wonderful description of how to draw water from Moshe. And he had that thing. I'm sure he had nightmares about this. And we noticed that water would not come up unless you took certain steps. And we understood that the way that God functions in this world is through a chain of causes. There's a series of causes that produce a particular result. So that's what we were discussing yesterday. So now says the Chovos Halevavos, وَالْعِلَاءَ الَّتِي أَجْلِهَا اللَّزَمْ اللَّهَ الْإِنسَانِ التعارض لأسباب الرزق وسائر ما يحتاج إليه فلوجهين. It's divided into two parts. What's divided into two parts? The cause that requires us to toil in parnasah and other things that we need is for two reasons. There are two reasons for it. Just so that everybody knows, Hillel is visiting us. So we are learning a sefer called Chovot Halevavos, Hidayat al-Qulub, which is a book written in the 11th century in Arabic in southern Spain by Rabbi Bachya ibn Pakuda. And Baruch Hashem, thanks to Hanan Akiva, he gave me his book that has Arabic and Hebrew, because it was written originally in Arabic. And I figured it would be cool to read the Arabic. I mean, I don't know what it means. I'm kidding.
You can read Arabic?
I can, well, this Arabic I could read, but so could you.
Okay.
Because it's Arabic and Hebrew letters. That's how Jews wrote. They would write what is called Judeo-Arabic, which is Hebrew letters, but it's Arabic words. Just like Yiddish. Yiddish is German, written in Hebrew letters. There are many Judeo languages. There's Judeo-Spanish, it's called Ladino. There's Judeo-Persian. And then Lenny, by the way, is an expert on Judeo-Persian. You can talk to him about that. Have you ever read Judeo-Persian like Shahnameh? You read stuff? Yeah, you read it? You don't need to break into Kol Hazangam, Kol Hazangam. So Hillel, what kind of Sephardi are you? From where?
I think Morocco.
Really?
Like rooted down all the way to Morocco.
Turtle Dove is a Moroccan name?
It's more Italian, I think.
No, that's English.
Because it came from Turtle Towel.
That doesn't sound Italian.
I don't know.
I mean, I've watched a lot of Tony Soprano. I've never heard Turtle Dove. The Godfather, they never. Okay, listen, I'll take your word for it. Listen, if Chase tells me that he's from Turkey, you can be from Morocco.
No, I'm not like proper Sephardi.
You're not a proper Sephardi. You're an improper Sephardi. What, are you fake Sephardi?
No, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I didn't grow up Sephardi.
His dad's Sephardi. Hillel Turtledove retained a lawyer. He has a lawyer here to speak for him. Okay? My client is... So Hillel is wondering, what the heck is going on? What did I walk into? It is what it is. It's what happens when you have a Rebbe that has an ADD. So there are two reasons why we are required to do hishtadlus, to exert ourselves in order to meet our basic needs. So the first reason أحدهما لما أوجبت الحكمة من الاختبار النفس في هذا العالم بالطاعة والمعصية. So it says, because divine wisdom wanted to test us, test the nefesh in this world, whether we're going to listen to God or are we going to rebel against God. Which is it going to be, my friend? Are you going to listen to him or are you going to rebel against him? You're going to listen to him. What about you, Yitzchak?
Me?
No, me.
Take it by the day.
So today, are you listening to him or rebelling against him? Kacha kacha, más o menos. Fine. I can just see him going before the heavenly court. So do I go Gehenna or heaven? What does this mean? But that's the test. God commands us to do certain things and not do other things. And therefore, we are being tested. We're tested. How are we going to meet our basic needs? Are we going to steal? Are we going to rob, pillage? Are we going to kill, chas v'shalom? Are we going to keep Shabbos and not work on the day of rest? Are we going to respect other people and treat them fairly, not rip them off with some short-term loan that they're paying 35% interest?
Maybe if they're a goy.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Isn't you're only not supposed to charge interest on a Jew?
Correct, right? But how can you verify that they're not lending money for Jews? And don't give me those heter iska business.
Well, they do have the Chovos, so like they do background checks. It's just, I don't think it's good for the anybody.
Lenny, what's going on? Developing an itch?
No,
Or are you trying to be Napoleon?
no. The shirt in the hand. No. Rabbi, usury is not allowed though, right? Even to a non-Jew?
No, you're allowed to. Yes,
Do usury to a goy?
yes.
Usury.
Charging interest.
But like extreme of what?
Well,
Usury?
extreme is all relative. There's a high risk when you loan without any collateral. So, I don't want to get into the history of how Jews entered money lending, at least in the Middle Ages. Maybe it's something that we should discuss. I don't know that I want to do it right now. So, there's certain things that we need. We need food, correct? Dan, we need food?
Yes.
Yes. We need drink?
Yes.
Yes. You need clothes?
Yes.
Do you need a place to sleep?
Yes.
Yes. And you need to get married. Okay, then we need to talk. We need to, that's a mitzvah,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So you don't have to do it today. But one day you're going to have to marry. It's okay. It doesn't hurt. No. If you do it right, no. So therefore, God commands us to toil, to work in order to acquire the things that we need, according to what the Torah demands. Okay? And you should know that whatever God decreed that you will get, if you do your proper ishtadlut, you will get it. And if He decreed that you won't get it, you will not get it no matter how much ishtadlus you're going to put in. So if the Kadosh Baruch Hu decides that you are going to make, let's just say, what's the average? The average income for in Israel is about 14,000 shekels a month. That's the numbers. Okay, so let's say it was decreed that Mike is going to get 18,000. And he's running around massaging every single person that he can find to try to get a little bit more than whatever they promised, whatever Hashem promised him. He's not going to get it. He's going to get exactly the amount that was decreed, no matter how much ishtadlus. Oh, so you say, so wait a minute. What if he reduces the ishtadlus that he needs to do? Will he still get the 18? That is, let's say Mike locks himself in the room in Ohr Somayach, refuses to get out, and expects to get the decreed amount from God. Will it work?
No. Well, the decreed amount surely is not.
Again, you want to talk about Shirley.
Is the decreed amount not expected to be less because God knows that he'll be late in his room?
You said yes, he would get the money even though he didn't do anything?
I think it depends on the bitachon level that he has.
So he's just going to get 18 grand in his account by sitting in his room all day.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
No, it's not. Surely, no. It's a very good word.
But I'm just telling you that in, 20 years of teaching, I haven't used it much. Whereas every time you ask, there she goes again. I guess it's just your English, Did you see the talk by the chief rabbi? Oh. Did you enjoy it? Good. Did you understand what he said?
That's a different story.
You don't speak English either. Okay.
He's a very smart man.
Yes. So, what the Chovos Halevavos is saying, that part of the decree is a level of ishtadlut that is required. That is, you will have to go around, Mike, and massage people. Because that is the path that you chose to do ishtadlut. Now, Yudah Cab isn't getting 18,000. Because he doesn't know how to give massages.
You mean cab, right?
Yes.
That's a cab.
What is going on here? Imagine if Yochanan and Micha were here. That's it. We'd have to close shop. Apparently, the students complain that I do this.
That's what I was telling you about in class, Rabbi. You make the. I can't even I don't know how you do it.
So, you have to, he says, whatever God decreed, it will come to you through the causes that God works through, which means that you have to do your part in order to receive the bounty that God decreed. And sachar va'onesh, reward and punishment, is also based on that. Okay? Now, the second reason why God requires us to toil for our parnasa is that if a man did not work, if a man did not toil to make a living, he would be more attracted to and would succumb to sin. Having a lot of free time, as you know, is not a good formula for success. Most of us do not use our time well, especially since the inventions of these mini computers that we hold in our pocket. Correct? Most of us don't use the phone for the purpose of a phone. The hours that we're on it is for other uses. Games. People watch videos. And in every platform you have videos. You have videos on YouTube. You have videos on Facebook. You have videos on, what's that? The one that was going to be banned in America. TikTok. You have videos on X. You have videos everywhere. So people use a lot of that. I see when I'm on the bus. Sometimes people just, that's all they do. I sit and learn for an hour and all they do is watching their phone. It's chaval. You could do something in that hour. Learn the language. Right? There are lots of wonderful languages that you could invest in learning. Imagine if your Aramaic was much better. It might be you'll be able to understand what the Gemara says, and not ask me silly questions. How's your Aramaic?
Not that great.
Not that great. So if you went to a bar and a girl speaks Aramaic, there's no shot.
No. Well, it works with Hebrew. My Hebrew's not so
Oh, your Hebrew's not so. Okay. So are you admitting in front of a live studio audience you're into girls?
No. Well, yeah.
Like, I know. Got to get the answer right. These are strange times here. The reason I ask you is there are people who think, there are some people who think that guys come to yeshiva because they're afraid of girls.
I'm afraid of girls.
If I were you, I would be afraid of girls too. But speaking of, we have to make sure that everybody knows that the Shiur, I had it in mind, but I didn't say it, that it's for Refuat Eitan Eliyahu ben Rivka Aliza, Hashem should send him Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf b'toch Sha'ar Cholei Israel. So, what?
I said, what a pivot.
What a what?
What a pivot. Okay, never mind.
I know what a pivot means, but everything okay?
Yeah.
Chubam? So, if we had time and we would not need to work to make a living, do you think people would do more mitzvahs or would do more sins? More sins. Then, would you sin more if you had more free time? What?
Not really.
No, you'd be a tzaddik. What about you, Nachshon? I'm not going to give you examples of sins to put them in your head, and now you're going to blame me for why you ended up doing it. Why would you do them? Because sometimes when people are bored, the Yetzer Hara gets the best of them. It says in the Torah, and this is what Chovos Halevavos brings, he says that when people have more time on their hands, they rebel against God and they sin. So that when the Jewish people had everything taken care of for them, they had all the gold, all this money, they built the Egel HaZahav, the golden calf. Also, in Moshe Rabbeinu tells the Jewish people, Vayishman Yushurun Vayiv'ad, the Jewish people are going to get wealthy and fatten up, and then they will rebel against God. That's what happens. So part of the way, the chesed that Hashem does with us, He keeps us busy so that we have time to learn Torah and to do derech eretz. Derech eretz meaning earn a living. And with those two together, we will be within the normal boundaries of the Torah. Yes, sir.
I was going to say, also adding on to your point, I think it's very important with the story of the
golden calf, what's it called? Mainly it was the idea of the Erev Rav, so it's also very important not to surround yourself with bad influences.
That's a given. It's a good point.
It's a given.
It's a good point. We are social. Are you raising your hand?
I am this time.
Okay. So 1 second. Let me finish my point then. That the Rambam says it. It's also based on the teachings of Aristotle. That Aristotle writes that the human being is zoon politikon. He is a social animal. People translate it as a political animal, but that's not what he means. He means social. We live in herds. We need crowds. We have our family unit. We have our clan unit. We have our tribal unit. Right? Just ask this Azeri guy. He knows how it is in the tribes. Right? Somebody said that the human being can recognize 200 people and keep them because that's how we are. I always think that 200 people. I don't think I know 200 people.
200, that's not a lot.
That's not a lot of people? Okay, I don't know. The people that I know are dead for 500 years. Like the Rambam, Ralevi, Abaye, Rava. Those are people I know.
You just named what, 5?
That's not 200.
No, but you could probably name a bunch more. Name Shiur.
If you sat down in a room alone for
If I sat down in a room alone in 5 hours,
you could write down 200 names of people you know who are alive.
I don't even think I've
probably. Okay, fine. I guess it's not true. Wow. You're not going to let it go, huh? Okay. Well, whatever it is, we are a social being. And social beings, we are influenced by the people we're around. If we are around people like you guys who are tzaddikim, then you have a positive influence on one another and also on your Rabbeim. So your Rabbeim want to learn more, to be able to teach you more, to bring you closer, and everybody gets perfect, everybody works. But if chas v'shalom, you decided to be around people who are not of the same mindset, that people who are pursuing other goals, which they find meaningful, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. Andrew, yes, sir.
Will we still have?
Shh.
Will we still be like forced to work in the time of yeah? Because
Forced to work.
you were saying like if we're not like.
If we said there's no Yetzer Hara in the time of Mashiach, then there's no need to.
Okay.
Yes, Avi, what would you like to correct me on this time?
Nothing.
Everything I said is correct?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not.
I'm
You're not.
correct,
He's not good. But you have a comment to make. Like I'm speaking, he's like. Get it out! I'm giving you the floor. Can you pass him the recorders that he really wants to get on this video? Yes. What do you want to say?
I thought that basically somebody told me that nothing changes really when it comes.
Is it somebody in Mechina?
I thought it was a rabbi.
You thought it was a rabbi. You're not sure it's a rabbi.
Was it?
I don't want to falsely quote.
You don't want to falsely quote.
Yeah.
False quote. That's no such thing as falsely. Either the guy said it or didn't say it. I don't want to falsely quote. But I said, and I was very careful because I knew you were going to say this. I knew it. I was waiting for it. I said, if in the time of the Mashiach there is no Yetzer Hara, then it would be this. Are there opinions that the Yetzer Hara would not exist at the time of Mashiach or of Geula? The answer is yes. It does. That's not the opinion of Shmuel. And you're bringing the opinion of Shmuel, that the Rambam quotes Shmuel many times. And if I can read your mind, which I cannot, I think that's what you're having in mind. That Shmuel said there's no difference between the days of Mashiach, Yemot HaMashiach, in this world, except Shibud Galuyot. We would not be under the thumb of the Ishmaelim and Esav. That we would be free, not like now. That whatever we want to do, we have to clear it with Washington, D.C.
But the Yetzer Hara is still around.
So according to Shmuel, nothing changes. But that's not the only opinion in Chazal.
Which one do we go by?
Oh, I don't think it matters much. Because why don't you wait till the Mashiach comes and see what happens? Mashiach comes and you're still like this, then you probably have Yetzirah. So you come back and find me and go, you see, you were wrong.
I didn't say you were wrong.
Oh, he didn't say I was right. He didn't want to quote falsely.
I didn't know for sure.
Say that. Yes.
Can, when the time of Mashiach comes, can non-Jews convert to Judaism, reap the benefits?
Reap the benefits. I'm sorry?
I think it's too late by then, no?
That's one opinion that says it's too late. There will be a different reality. Let's just wait and see what happens. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully today. I mean, it's a little rainy, cold, but you know, we'll put up with it. I brought an umbrella. The bus driver told me not to forget my umbrella on the bus. What?
I said the donkey can make it through the rain.
Is that, are you calling me a donkey?
The donkey
I got it. See, people, I didn't make any comments about donkeys.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Maybe we should ask him. He was on
The Messiah is supposed to come on a white donkey.
Yeah, but we don't call it donkey because it's like a separate name.
It's supposed to be Abraham.
What?
Donkey in Azerbaijan. Yeah, that's fine.
What?
Sure.
It's not talking about Azerbaijan.
Now are you claiming the Mashiach is going to come from Azerbaijan? Is that what I'm hearing?
Probably, yeah. There was a community around the Russian that said that Mashiach is going to come.
So you're telling me Mashiach is going to come in line dancing on an Azerbaijani donkey.
That was the kidding there.
Tov, beseder. Listen, we have to respect different opinions, no matter how bizarre they are. Everybody knows the Mashiach has to be Persian. It's the Mashiach. You ever met a Mashiach that's not Persian?
The Azerbaijani.
No, they don't name the kids Mashiach. So-
we got a third Mashiach? Mashiach ben Parsis or something?
He's trying to be funny, but
Trying.
he's trying. That's the thing. See, you have to. Well, I'm not. This is not open mic, you know. Dan, how much time do we have?
Around like 6 minutes left.
6 minutes, correct. We have mincha at 3:45 today, as everybody knows. Did you daven mincha today?
No.
Would you like to join us?
I would love to.
Good, perfect. You will have to choose, since you're the new guy, to choose the shaliach tzibur, who's going to daven from the Amud. You get to choose. So.
We have the right to decline.
No, then what's the game like? That's not fair. The right to decline. Surely. Mark, good to see you. I didn't think in this weather you'd leave the house. What happened? Either that or she gave you an ultimatum.
She don't want to see my face.
No wonder.
I just don't laugh.
It's definitely a new thing.
Listen, he's been working on it for the last month. He just springs in it now. It's good.
I told you guys a month ago that I
So the Chachamim tell us, Yafet Talmud Torah im derech eretz, shegiat shneim mashkachat avon. So that we need both of them in order to fulfill our obligations to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When the Kadosh Baruch Hu manages us and keeps us busy in this world, and we are busy to earn Olam Haba, the idea is to make sure that we focus on the right things and not the wrong things. So therefore, the person has to prefer following Hashem, choosing what's best, trusting that his avodah of Hashem is accepted by Hashem. You have to have that bitachon, that when you're doing mitzvah, that Hashem accepts your mitzvot and accepts your tefillot. You stay away from things that affect your growth. and make sure specifically that when you do have free time, it doesn't lead you to rebel against the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Now, the next topic is probably some of you are going to have some serious questions, which is very important. This is why we're doing it. Is that if a person says, we see that there are some tzaddikim that don't have any money, and that they have to work very, very hard in order to make a living. And on the other hand, there are many rashaim, evil people, that live a very comfortable life. And the question is, why is that? This question is also asked by the Gemara in Masechet Brachot. It's talked about in a lot of Sforim. But here he's focusing specifically on the financial well-being or the ability to have sustenance. So there are tzaddikim that have a very difficult time earning a living, whereas there are evil people that are making millions. Okay, we don't have to give examples of who. And the question is, well, how does this work? And so he says that the prophets and the pious, which are the chachamim, already provided us a blueprint for this question and also for some answers. And he brings a bunch of psukim asking the question. What? What? Somebody say something? Okay. Dan, can we continue tomorrow since I have to get ready for mincha?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's stop here.